This webinar will go through a number of different toolkits that we've recently updated. And if you're new to National RTAP or our toolkits, you're really in for a treat, because the toolkits are veritable encyclopedias that give you everything you need to know about different aspects of transit. So we hope you can hear, but if you need information about audio, you can click on the audio, or you can use any of these phone numbers. There's the webinar ID, etc. Please chat with us if you have difficulty hearing the webinar. You can also use chat to get help using Zoom or to chat with the panelists or other attendees. You can use Q&A to ask questions during the webinar. All of your questions will be answered either during this webinar, or if we have too many questions, we'll answer them after and post a Q&A document on our website. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be posted on the National RTAP website within 1 week of today. We'll also post all the slides. So let's get started. And I'd like to introduce our panelists. First, we have Laura Carr. She is the Transit Director for United Community Action Program Incorporated, also known as Cimarron Transit. And she'll be talking about some of the sections of the toolkits that she helped update. Laura is a review board member for National RTAP. We're very, very grateful to have her with us. Our review board members are so valuable because they review, well, toolkits and really everything that we do, including technical briefs, e-learning courses, and just the direction that National RTAP goes in. Nancy Doherty is our analyst, and she will be talking about sections of the toolkits that she's responsible for, including survey design and results, which I'm sure you'll find really interesting, because that helps shape the future of transit for all our stakeholders. I'm the Knowledge and Resource Manager for National RTAP, and I've been involved in all of the toolkits that will be discussed today, and I'll talk about updates to most of them. So let's get started. For those of you who are unfamiliar with National RTAP, our full name, National Rural Transit Assistance Program, we are a technical assistance center funded by Federal Transit Administration, FTA, through Section 5311 rural funding. We provide free training materials and technical assistance to rural and tribal transit providers and to state RTAP programs. So free, the toolkits are free, our webinars are free, everything we provide is at no cost to you. As I mentioned in an earlier slide, we're governed by a review board. They're composed of state DOT managers and rural and tribal transit agency managers such as Laura. We have offices in Massachusetts, in Washington, DC, and some of our other staff work in different areas. So you'll be seeing information that's been really a culmination of all of our work. In addition to the review board, our team reviews many of these resources too. So it's a full effort. You can learn more about what we do at nationalrtap.org. Here's a picture of our homepage. Lots and lots of resources for you. So to find our toolkits, very, very easy. We have a number of ways to find them. If you go to our homepage, nationalrtap.org, you'll see some purple buttons at the top. The one right next to home is our resources mega menu. If you mouse over resources, you'll see a score of information, and the toolkits are right in the middle. If you click on toolkits, you'll get an overview or you can click on the individual ones. We have an ADA toolkit, a bus rodeo toolkit, how to find anything toolkit, a marketing toolkit, state RTAP managers, and a transit managers toolkit. They all get reviewed periodically and as often as we can. We've reviewed many of them every year, and we continue to do so, and we rely on input from users like yourselves. All of the toolkit pages have suggested topic buttons at the bottom. So if you're going through one of our toolkits and you'd like to see some new information in it, please use that button and let us know what you'd like to see. You're also welcome to get in touch with us any other way, including email at info@nationalrtap.org. So if you'd like some other ways to find our toolkits, on our homepage and every page on the top right-hand corner, there's a search bar. Just put in the word toolkit, you'll get them that way. Or even a word you might want to see in a toolkit, like civil rights or ADA. It will bring up the toolkit that has the most pertinent information. And in the middle of our homepage, there's another button about our toolkits. There's also a finding aid, and they're also in our resource library. So there's lots of ways to find our toolkits, and if you need additional help finding them, please contact us at info@nationalrtap.org. So as I said, our toolkits are updated frequently. Our ADA toolkit was last updated in 2021, and it provides transit managers with all the information they need to know about their responsibilities under the Americans with Disabilities Act and providing equal service to all passengers. Our Find Anything toolkit was most recently updated in 2022. That's sometimes updated on a weekly basis. There's always something new to find. And it provides guidance on how to search for, find, and access high quality and relevant training and technical assistance on pretty much anything. The State RTAP Managers Toolkit was updated this year. It's a comprehensive guide for maintaining a successful state RTAP, which is a rural transit assistance program. So even if you're not a state RTAP manager, you'll probably find good information in that, including how to contact your state RTAP manager and what they're training on. Nancy will be talking more about that. And our Transit Managers Toolkit was also just recently updated. It gives new transit managers the information that they will need on day one, even if they've never been a transit manager before, to ensure that their rural transit organization is operating smoothly and in compliance with federal regulations associated with receiving FTA Section 5311 funding. So just like transit managers can find valuable information in our State RTAP Managers Toolkit, vice versa. We've heard from many State RTAP managers and state DOT managers that they go to our Transit Managers Toolkit and our ADA Toolkit all the time to find out, what the relevant regulations are, et cetera. So whatever your role is, you will find information that you need in these toolkits. So as I said, ADA Toolkit was updated in 2021, and we'll be starting another update likely in 2023. And we want to thank Laura and additional reviewers from our review board for these reviews. Laura will talk about what she reviewed, but in addition to that, we updated information on something very new for a lot of us, autonomous vehicles, and how that can provide assistance for persons with disabilities, as well as updating our section on COVID and ADA passengers who need disabilities assistance. So all of this is reviewed by review board members and our team. And we've also, at the request of many, added additional information to our ADA toolkit on diversity, equity, and inclusion, how it relates to persons with disabilities and others. And we've included that in both the public meetings and the outreach sections. And Laura's going to talk to us about a new template that was developed on complementary paratransit appeals process. Thank you, Laura.
As most of you may know, ADA complementary paratransit service is only required for agencies who provide fixed route services. With the increasing demands on ADA paratransits, National RTAP listened to rural operators' requests for an appeal process and created a sample tool. And this time saver can be individualized, centered on your agency's policies and practices. Whether the appeal is for ADA eligibility determination, service suspension, or for a pattern of excessive no-shows, the sample template outlines important elements when you don't know how or where to begin. Keep in mind the process must comply with 49 CFR section 37.125G. It is recommended that each agency review the FTA ADA circular guidance on the required appeals process in Chapter 9, Section 9.7. When you check out the template, you'll thank Kara for highlighting items in red that should be customized for your agency. In purple, you'll notice additional notes and instructions related to customizing the template, and these will help you navigate easily through the document. Take time to review ADA sample policies also available in the toolkit should you wish to compare or update your current policies.
And here's a sample page from that template. So you can see, as Laura was saying, where it's red, you would insert the name of your transit agency. And then you can customize anything, insert the position name, name of the transit agency, mailing address, email address, etc. So the template walks you through where you can customize it, and then you will be able to post this policy right on your website or in your print materials and safely give it to any of the passengers that you need to. So we'll open up to questions after, but we're going to move on to another toolkit, the Find Anything toolkit. So the Find Anything toolkit is something we'll be doing a comprehensive update on in 2022 or 2023. And we look forward to involving a lot of the review board members, as well as possibly if during this webinar you have things that you want us to find. So it's a different type of toolkit. It's mainly how to be a real sleuth, how to, whatever you're looking for, really find the strategies and methods to find it, whether it's searching through databases, even different search engines. There are other ones in addition to Google, and every year we add new ones, and just ways to search. We've updated that. And we also have information on transit agencies or technical assistance agencies, or transit agencies are involved in coordination to help people find transportation if there is no transportation through a specific transit agency. So we have a whole page on that. And we've updated that with new resources, new maps, new spreadsheets, etc. We also link in the Find Anything toolkit to all of the state RTAP and state 5311 websites when there are those available. So every year there's more and more of the state RTAPs, and not just the states, the US territory programs that provide rural transit also have their own websites and 5311 programs. So we link to them. And one of the hidden gems in the Find Anything Toolkit, and this might be moving to a different area because we have topic guides, but every year we have different hot topics. And we collect the hot topics based on some surveys that Nancy oversees, as well as questions we receive throughout the year from webinars. Questions you ask might be put in hot topics eventually. Questions we receive through email, chat, phone, in person. So we're able to, some of them have been repeats, but some of them are new. We're able to offer them. So for 2022, our hot topics that a lot of people are asking about are bus stops, bus stop construction, bus stop operations. And we did a webinar on building better bus stops with Pennsylvania agencies. That's a great resource for that. Climate change, it's something on everybody's mind. We did some climate transit chats and we did some webinars, and we have a whole alternative fuel topic guide with a lot of resources. Construction, not just bus stops, but everything. We've done a lot of great conference presentations on construction recently. So in our conferences page, we've posted those and we've linked to them in this hot topic guide. Driver recruitment, that's something that we've updated in our transit managers toolkit, and we list that and others. Marketing, we just did, our assistant director spearheaded a comprehensive 6-part workshop on marketing with really amazing webinar style workshops that if you haven't seen those yet, you can find them in both in our webinars page and in our Find Anything Toolkit. They'll really tell you what you need to know about marketing. And Medicaid transportation is a new hot topic. A lot of people had questions about that or an interest in that. And one of the things we did was a guide for that, a state by state, where their websites are on Medicaid transportation. So if you go to the Find Anything Toolkit, go to the hot topics, you'll see these and more. Now, the State RTAP Managers Toolkit was updated. It's also a comprehensive guide to implementing and managing a successful state RTAP. We did a big update in 2021. And when we went to look at it in 2022, we realized that we had a little bit of redundancy. We called them state RTAP programs. And the word P is for programs. So we took out programs. Now it's just state RTAPs. And our webinar for the first full update is at this YouTube and the slides. And like I said, this will be posted, this recording and the slides. So you'll be able to get to that to see what was updated in 2021. But now Nancy is going to talk to us about something really exciting, the survey analysis of what's doing with state RTAP managers.
Thank you, Kara. So yes, every 2 years we reach out to state RTAP managers through a fairly comprehensive, you could call it a questionnaire, but it is a survey. And the primary objective of the outreach, of course, is to learn how we can best be of use to managers and their subrecipients. I mean, that is one of our primary goals. This year we had 49 state responses to the survey. We got so close and 2 territories responded. So we had 51 responses, which was great. But again, training was the primary focus, and we asked questions related to each of the topics listed on the slide. I'm not going to read them. And most importantly, we focus on the training requirements and needs that they tell us about. And this is based on questions that are directly, we directly ask, what do you need? What type of training do you need? And what format should it be? And secondly, it's also driven by what topics tend to come up in their state management review findings. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. Next slide, please. Here we go. So these are the top 10 training needs. There's probably not any surprises here that these are the top training needs of state RTAP managers. The 2022 results are shown on the left, and for comparison, the 2020 survey results are shown on the right. Just to orient you a little bit more, the purple, any of the training needs or topics shown in purple indicates that we do provide full training modules through our website, through National RTAP for free, as Kara mentioned. Black indicates that we have resources such as toolkits or tech briefs, so they're not quite as robust as the training modules, but still we do provide some resources that can be helpful in meeting these training needs. And then red will tell you that we do not provide resources on these topics except for links. We do provide links in our library to outside resources and perhaps conference sessions on the topics. And we're certainly willing to do more research on it. So comparing the 2 years, driver retention and succession planning and preparation and personal management continue to make the top 5 list. And this year, of course, entry-level driver training was number 2, with 71% of managers indicating they needed help with entry-level driver training for their subrecipients. We do take special care to pay attention. We pay attention to topics that are noted as both required trainings, because we do ask if these trainings are required or not, and they need additional materials. And the most frequent of these that met both criteria were entry-level driving training, with 15 states saying that it was required and they needed help, ADA training, problem passengers and de-escalation, and Transit 101. Next slide, please. Thank you. So I mentioned that we do ask them what their state management review findings show, and no surprises here either. Procurement is always number 1, with financial management cited number 2, and you can see that they're the same from year to year. I do want to say that we do offer a tech tool related to procurement, which is called Procurement Pro. And that tool is really easy to use, and it includes all the clauses and certifications you need for a particular type of procurement, and also includes great checklists for the different types of procurement. So you know that you're doing everything you need to do in the order you need to do it. And then finally, we recently published some financial training modules. One's called Fundamentals of Financial Management, and the other one is Advanced Topics. Both are excellent and very current. So if you are one of those people that need help with financial management, I would suggest that you might want to take a look at those modules. Next slide, please. And then finally, I just wanted to talk briefly about General Transit Feed Specification, more commonly known as GTFS. Program managers were asked what role they're taking in planning to support access to online transit information in their state. So to publish your routes and schedules on a trip planner like Google Maps or Apple Maps or the transit app, it needs to be in a certain format or a certain specification, and the specification kind of outlines the format for you. Of the 51 states and territories that participated in the survey, 22 said they were either working with subrecipients in developing GTFS data, promoting the value of it. It's a great free marketing tool, as Liz mentioned in that marketing 5-session marketing thing that we did a couple months ago. GTFS came up as a marketing tool. And then there were several that were researching and considering GTFS for their subrecipients. I'm bringing this up today because the bipartisan infrastructure law has made some changes to the reporting requirements for NTD, National Transit Database. And this change requires FDA to collect geographic service area coverage data through the NTD. So for agencies with fixed routes, this means you do need to provide a GTFS data set. And for systems that provide just demand response modes, It's a little bit easier. Right now, it's they're asking that you respond to a series of questions related to your service. So developing GTFS data for transit agencies is something we can help with. And we've been helping agencies to do that for years. We have a tool called GTFS Builder, which is comprised of 2 simple Excel spreadsheets, which helps an agency organize their routes and schedules into a format or a specification that can be uploaded and consumed by a trip planner. So these are the highlights of the State RTAP Manager Survey. You can certainly read the comprehensive survey summary on our website. It's in the form of a report. And I think it's included obviously within the RTAP Managers, the State RTAP Managers Toolkit. And the survey of the transit managers was recently conducted, and its summary will be available probably next year on the Transit Managers Survey Toolkit. So that's about it. Thank you, and I'm sending this back to Kara.
Thank you, Nancy. And the links that Nancy mentioned on Procurement Pro and GTFS Builder are sprinkled throughout pretty much all of our toolkits. And they're also in that main mega menu under technology tools, along with some other wonderful free technology tools. So you'll see, you know, everything is really cross-linked. You can go from our toolkits to our technology tools, our tech briefs, etc., for more information, to use tools, etc. So our Transit Managers Toolkit is one we've updated frequently. There were a lot of review board members, including Laura again, who helped us with the reviews of many, many pages in this. And here are some of the highlights. There's a lot more that we've updated. We really, really did a comprehensive update in 2022. And we added an entire tech brief that we retired as a tech brief, but we now have it as a section in mission and leadership on advisory versus governing boards. So if you want to make that decision, you can go to that section of the toolkit. Budgeting and finance, we added a section on allowable costs. That was a direct user question that, see, as I said before, we and Nancy said, we listen to what you need us to put in. And then on our next update, we added as best we can. Just like in the ADA toolkit, we added sections on diversity, equity, and inclusion in a number of areas in the Transit Managers Toolkit. We do have a section on succession planning now. We didn't at the time of the survey that Nancy just mentioned, and it was because of the need that the survey uncovered. So it's a very good section. It includes links to a chat that we did with a national organization. And we're currently creating a succession planning e-learning course that will be rolled out probably early in 2023. We also added, this was another user request, state-specific requirements for training to human resources. And another request, we added information on passenger endorsements to our section on driver recruitment, retention, and training. So this is all new. We added additional information on flag stops to our planning and evaluation section. And we added information on state management reviews to grant requirements. And if that's not enough, we have an entire new page on operations management models. So this page talks about in-house, outsourcing, contracting, and everything in between. We did have a page that was just some information on in-house versus outsourcing, but it was really, really expanded to include a lot of different types of models. So we really hope you visit this toolkit. And like I said, it's meant for new transit managers, but it's good for transit managers and transit staff and really anybody at all stages of their career to find links to pertinent regulations, technical assistance, etc. Each of the pages has a very comprehensive bibliography that links to FTA and US DOT resources on the topics, TRB resources, and many, many more. So take a look. And now we're going to go back to Laura. Laura helped us update our civil rights page, and she's going to talk about that update because that's a really important section.
Yes, updates to the Title VI section worth mentioning relate to the limited English proficiency or LEP portion of the non-discrimination plan. A language assistance plan provides support based on a person's inability to speak, read, write, or understand English to avoid a type of national origin discrimination. It's important that the plan identify the actions the agency will take to ensure that discrimination does not take place. As part of the LEP plan, the agency needs to describe actions that will be taken. For example, our agency has a high Hispanic population, so we periodically survey our dispatchers and drivers to identify individuals who may speak English less than very well. And we work with their family members, their employers, and friends to communicate. Our notifying the public of their rights under Title VI and our ridership responsibilities have been translated into Spanish. We also created Spanish translation wallet cards and a sheet of questions in Spanish to assist our dispatchers. We reached out to community partners to locate potential interpreters if needed. And I've even used Google Translate to draft letters to individuals when communication broke down. On the internet, you can search to find I Speak cards to assist in identifying the language interpretation needed if the occasion arises. And then I'd also like to add a few notes regarding the disadvantaged business enterprise section of the toolkit. The new managers may not know that the agency's DBE plan must name the person or position that serves as the DBE liaison officer. So one significant element requires a revision to the job description of the DBE liaison officer to include those DBE duties. The DBE liaison officer must have a direct line to the executive officer, which is also identified on the agency's organizational chart. For our agency, the operations manager is our liaison. So an important housekeeping item for continuity and compliance requires updating the DBLO's job description. So our agency just updated the operation manager's job description by adding the line, act as the DBE liaison officer and responsible for implementing all aspects of the DBE program. Now, the agency should document good faith efforts to meet your DBE goals. Examples of this include publishing legal notices, reviewing your state's DBE directory of firms certified through the state's Unified Certification Program. Our agency maintains a sheet inside a folder of dates. We print out copies of the directory, maintain copies of emails, minutes of management meetings where DBE efforts are discussed with management and our executive director. Legal notices are published before the submission of our 5311 grant, identifying opportunities with DBEs, which mirror those in our 5311 grant application. RFPs are another opportunity for DBE notice and clauses. If we, EEO, equal employment opportunity, a best practice is to include a statement about your agency's EEO policy on all employment advertisements, position descriptions, and job applications. We include the statement in press releases, brochures, and on our website. And I strongly recommend periodic review of the Transit Manager's Toolkit for solid guidance for new transit managers, as well as seasoned managers who want to stay refreshed. In closing my section, I'd like to offer the FTA website maintains recordings of webinars that were held in December and January, which help agencies prepare for an upcoming triennial review. The guidance includes completing the recipient information request packet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. In addition to introducing our audience to the Toolkit contents, that was really great to hear a very successful rural transit agency, how you've implemented the various components of transit management at the ground level. So we appreciate your sharing of that, and very helpful for our audience here. Also, as you go through the Transit Managers Toolkit and the ADA Toolkit, you'll see other examples where we've interviewed different transit agencies, written up case studies of how they've done various things. So that's very helpful to take a look at too. Another resource that the toolkit's linked to, we do have a coordination and mobility management section of our Transit Managers Toolkit, and a training section of our state RTAP Managers Toolkit is the TACL. TACL is the Transportation Technical Assistance Coordination Library. It's a project of FTA, and it's technical assistance TA centers. Now, I'm not going to read all of them, but I do want to let you know that there's a fairly new one, the Transit Workforce Center, TWC. And if you're unfamiliar with any of these TA centers, you can go to TACL and click on them right from the home page, and you'll find out more about the great work that they all do. And that's not all you can do with TACL. You can find information, and again, it's free and it's all full text about everything you need to know about transportation coordination from the vantage point of FTA and all of its TA centers. So we have over 100 resources, and we're always adding new ones. Laura is one of our resource reviewers that we're most grateful for. And if you are interested in becoming a TACL resource reviewer, please let me know at info@nationalrtap.org. And also, if you're interested in working with either us or any of the other TA centers on a resource about transportation coordination, there is the ability now to become a TACL partner. So reach out for more information if you're interested in that opportunity as well. So now we're going to open up the floor to questions. I'm going to take a look at the chat. And I see one question from Diana, who looked at our training and our toolkits and did not find an ADA or EEO driver training program that we could use for new hires, as well as a refresher for current drivers. See, this is exactly what we look at to see what our needs are. When we do webinars like this, we see, what are the gaps? What are we missing? And so thank you, Diana. We have started the work on an ADA driver training that we might offer perhaps through our e-learning or maybe another method. And we looked at it at one of our review board meetings, and there was a lot of interest. So that's something hopefully you'll see in the future. Laura, did you have your hand up?
Well, I would like to offer the e-learning training on National RTAP called To the Point. We have all of our drivers, before we put them on the road, complete it's defensive driving, disability etiquette, customer relations. It's a slew of information that is very helpful. before they job shadow.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. We bill that as refresher training, but we've heard that drivers at all levels have used that. We offer it in e-learning and also as training cards, as well as downloadable PDFs. The cards and the PDFs have training on one side and quizzes on the other side. Laura mentions we have disabilities etiquette. We also have a module on assisting passengers with mobility issues. So it's brief though. It's not like a comprehensive training on ADA or EEO, but it's a great training. See a few more questions in the chat. Okay, somebody loves the updated toolkits. We got a question from Ilana. I hope I pronounced your name right, and I'm sorry if I didn't. Do you have a list of transit-related holidays like APTA's National Dump the Pump Day? That's a great idea for the Find Anything toolkit. I maintain that because in addition to managing library resources, I manage our social media resources. So I'm always looking for different holidays. And in fact, this month is National Hispanic Heritage Month. So you'll see a social post about that. There's days, weeks, and months for everything. And please don't forget about Rural Transit Day. That's July 16th. And we hope all of you get involved with that. But yeah, let's think about where we can put a list of transit-related holidays. I'll have your information in the chat, so I'll send you what I've collected via email after. Okay, so Diana said we're a small transit, so as much e-learning as possible. The to the point cards are great, thank you. Ooh, does anyone have an LEP plan that they can share? Okay, now that's a great question, and we have another tool. Oh, thank you, Jeff. You help a lot of people. Thank you. This is a question for Katie, so I will put you in touch with each other after this via email because I'll get the chat. We have another tool for sharing information and best practices, and that's our Rural Transit Managers Forum. I know Jeff is in that already, and Laura, I believe you are too. And it's open to any rural and tribal transit manager. The platform is Facebook, which a lot of people have told us that that's the easiest platform for them to use. But if you don't use Facebook, you can send your question. Thank you. We got another sharer for an LEP plan. If you want to join the Rural Transit Managers Forum, send a request to info@nationalrtap.org. I'll set you up for that. And if you don't want to join it, but you want to ask them a question, send the question and it'll be posted and I'll be able to consolidate the answers. So it's great for peer sharing, and so are webinars like this. Any other questions that people have? You have great questions, folks. Anything you want to ask Nancy about the survey or Laura about the pages she updated? Okay. Let me move on to the next slide here. All right. I want to thank our panelists, Laura and Nancy, for your presentations, and thank the audience for your attention, and bring your attention to some of our upcoming events, which I hope you'll join us for. We all do. There's one coming right up. It's a Transit Manager Peer Roundtable. It's the last week in September. It's an hour. And that's a really nice informal way to share resources. There's some suggested questions, but if you want to go on that and talk again about LEP plans, that's a good place for it. It's also on Zoom, but it's not recorded. So it's a great way to talk candidly with your peers. In October, if you tweet, we're having an all on board for mental health Twitter chat. Now, I mentioned some of our chats before, like the succession to transit chat. The Twitter chats really crowdsource a lot of very, very helpful and valuable best practices from literally thousands of people on Twitter. So we do accept RSVPs. If you want to do that, send it to info@nationalrtap.org. We have a great panel for that too, including people from the National Aging and Disabilities Transit Center and also a transit manager from our review board. You can RSVP to info@nationalrtap.org. We're also putting on a second webinar on insurance. We put on a larger one that included risk management, general concepts, and transit insurance pools. And we have some panelists who are well versed in the needs of very small agencies and nonprofits. We're putting that on with MTAP, ASHTO, MTAP, Multi-State Transit Assistance Program, and also NADTC. We also will have a state RTAP manager peer roundtable. That's just for state RTAP managers, if any of you are in that group, and a books and transit discussion group meeting. I'm reading the book right now, and I know Nancy's in that group, and maybe some of you. It's called Riding the Bus with My Sister. It's about a very, very special rider. She does have an intellectual disability, but she has a big heart and just a great personality. And her sister, who's an author, rides the bus with her and finds out a lot about bus drivers, her sister, and life in general. Now I'm going to go back up to the chat and see if there's any more questions. All righty. Oh, another thank you. And okay, and another thank you. Well, thanks to all of you. And if there's no further questions, school buses, charter buses, yes, we've recently done tech briefs on both of those. And will you share the LEP plan with everyone? So what I'm gonna probably do is everybody who attended this will get an email with the LEP plans that have been shared. So thank you very much and have a great rest of day. Thank you for joining us. Bye.